Has the Toyota Hilux gone soft? Well, in this video, we're going to find out. You see, Toyota has just updated it and they tried to make it appeal more to lifestyle buyers, you know, people who just want to cruise around town in their cool pickup. So I'm going to talk you through all the changes that Toyota have made to it, and then I'm going to drive it on the road, see if it's easier to live with. But of course, I want to see if it still lives up to the Invincible name. So I'm going to beat the crap out of it on this off-road track. I'm even going to launch it off-road. You see, they've updated it with a new, more powerful engine. Hopefully I won't get into trouble with Toyota for doing that, but we'll find out. Anyway, I'm Matt Watson. You're watching Car Wow, and it's absolutely pissing it down with rain because we're in Great Britain. Obvs. Let's start off by talking about the price. The new Toyota Hilux starts from just under £27,000, rising all the way to £39,000 for this range-topping Invincible X with all the trimmings. But on PCP, it's around 250 quid a month with a sizable deposit up front, but it still works out cheaper per month than the equivalent Ford Ranger Wildtrak or a Nissan Navara. Reason being, Toyotas are tough, so they hold their value really well. Toyota has changed bits of the design of this Hilux. So from the rear, this is what the new one looks like. Here's what the old one looks like. The only major differences really are this treatment around the handle. It's basically just plastic, and you get some new LED tail lights on Invincible and Invincible X models. Other than that, rather similar. As before, the Hilux is available in 3 body styles. So there's the single cab, which is 2-door, 2-seater. Then there's the extended cab, which has a little rear door and some tiny rear seats where you put someone that you don't really like. And then there's this double cab version, which has 4 doors and proper rear seats. For 2020, you now get new alloy wheel designs starting at 17 inches, rising up to these 18s. And the Invincible X models have this, look, new wheel arch designs, yet more plastic, and new running boards, which actually look a little less rugged. This is what the old one looked like. Now back to the new one. The biggest changes are here at the front of the new Hilux. So they've completely redesigned the front end. This is what the old one looked like. This new one is quite a bit different. All this grille is new. On this Invincible X model, you have this satin effect around the grille, make it look more rough and tough. The normal versions actually look a little bit like upside down Audi grills. You've got some new lights as well, and the Invincible X has some extra plasticky bits. They love a bit of plastic on this car. Round the fog lights. There it is, the new front. Now I want to get inside because I'm getting absolutely soaked. Not enjoying this. Oh, God, it's getting to the dry. Oh, I'm soaking. Okay, so what is new here on the inside of the Hilux? Not a lot really. Got the same dash design, made of hard, brittle plastics. Weird stitching effect, the plastic on the top of the dash. I think the inside of a VW Amarok is slightly nicer. One thing that is new is this infotainment system. So you get this 8-inch system on all but the entry-level car, and it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. On this Invincible X, you have built-in sat-nav, but look at it. It's so old-fashioned looking and laggy, and it's not great. You're just going to use your Google Maps, aren't you? Another thing you get on the Invincible X are these speakers, a JBL sound system. Though these just look like Bluetooth speakers that someone has stuck on the top of the dash. I can't complain about the leather seats you get in the Invincible X, and they're electric. Oh, and heated. That's good on a day like today. And it's quite easy to get an ideal driving position because the steering wheel does telescope and move up and down. Practicality wise, it's quite a few storage spaces, so you've got big storage space under here. Look, we've got Wi-Fi. There's also a 3-pin socket there, 100 watts for your accessories. That another storage area here, big cup holders. Then you've got 2 12-volt sockets, but only one USB port. Car showing its age. And then some of the buttons down here. You've got your climate control here. You've got one glove box, decent size there, and another, I like this, up there. And then you've got big door bins. Look, I can fit in 2 bottles in the 1 bottle holder. Up here there's a place for your sunglasses, and obviously it's lined so you don't scratch your lenses. There we go, that's the inside of the car. It's fine. Let's check out the back seats, which means I've got to go outside again. I'll use this to help me. Okay, just leant on the horn. Where? For a car that's called the Invincible X, that horn's a bit pathetic. See you in the back. Oh, handy handle to put yourself in. Okay, so what's it like back here? Well, if you're thinking about swapping out of a normal SUV into one of these, not a great idea if you carry people in the back regularly, because look, knee room's pretty tight. It's no better than a normal small hatchback, and the foot room is quite cramped, so you feel like you're in a bit of a stress position. It's not ideal. Headroom is okay, but these grab handles, great if you're going over a building site and you need to hold on, but if you forget to, you can end up smacking your head off those, and it really, really hurts. Especially if you've got 3 in the back at once, which is doable because this seat is quite wide and the floor doesn't have too big a hump in it, so it's doable. But yeah, not ideal. There are a few cool practical features though. So as well as these little pockets on the seat backs, you have these little hooks, and apparently you can hang 4 kilos off them if you happen to have 4 kilos with you. Some decent sized door bins down there, and look, the windows go all the way down, which is great for kids, especially if their iPads have run out of battery, because there's nowhere in the back here to charge them. If you've got really young kids, look, you do have Isofix anchor points to fit a baby seat in here. Okay, let's check out the reason why you have a pickup. It's low bed, which means I've got to go back out in the rain. Bugger. Oh, right. One of the things I like about the Hilux is this, like you have this little step at the back so you can deal with your load without having to open the tailgate, which is a good thing because watch this. Yeah, it's not damped. The amount of load you can carry in here, maximum, is 1,030 kilos, which is quite a lot, but it's actually a little bit behind that of its key competitors. In fact, a Ford Ranger can carry 1,252 kilos in its low bed. That brings on to 5 annoying things about Toyota Hilux. For some reason, Toyota couldn't be asked to fix a little tab for you to pull down the rear armrest. You have to wedge your, come on, fingers in like that. Seeing as though a lot of the changes made to this truck are to help it appeal more to lifestyle buyers, so people who just want to pick up to be seen in, vain people, it's a bit of miss. They haven't fitted a vanity mirror for the driver so they can check themselves out when they look all cool in the pickup. The engine bay isn't particularly well sealed from the elements, so if you go for a bit of a hoon off-road or into some mud, then your engine can get caked in grime. That's going to be a nightmare to clean. It's really hard to make the cover, the USB port, shut properly because it's weird rubber thing. It does your OCD. This Hilux may well be updated, but it's still got old-fashioned rigid axle, leaf spring rear suspension. The Nissan Navara has independent multi-link rear suspension with coil springs, and so it's much more car-like to drive, which is better if you just want one of these things to drive around because you like the look of it. Thankfully, this car has plenty of cool features to help make up for all this. Here's 5. This Hilux has something called pitch and bounce control. So when you go over a bump, the nose pitches up, your head goes back like that, but to counteract it, it can actually reduce the engine's torque so your head moves forward again. Now when you're going down a slope like that, all of a sudden, normally your head will go forward like that, but instead this time the engine torque increases to push your head backwards, make it feel nice and smooth. Toyota's reduced the engine idle speed from 850 RPM to 680. That means it's just smoother when you pull away from a standstill. The truck's towing capacity is 3.5 tons, which is pretty impressive. And even though it's called Invincible X, it can't quite pull me. Oh, gains. The Hilux has something called variable flow control steering. Essentially what it means is that the steering is nice and light at low speeds, which is handy when you're off-roading. It provides decent feel. When you go quicker, such as on the motorway though, it weights up so it's not all flighty. You know how I love a cup holder? I'll check this out. It's totally made my day. As before, you can get a 2.4 litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel. It has, where's the thing? It's quite easy to find actually. It has, oh God, that's heavy, 150 horsepower and 400 newton meters of torque. But now you can also get this. It's a 2.8 litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel with 204 horsepower and 500 newton meters of torque. Now this engine was actually previously available in Africa, but now we get it in Europe and they made it a bit more refined for us Europeans for some reason. You can also get the car with a limited slip rear differential that's electronically controlled. As ever, there is 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive or low range 4-wheel drive modes, and you can choose between a manual and an automatic gearbox. Let's see what this Toyota Hilux is like to drive on the road. Starting with in town. You see, Toyota knows that a lot of people buy these cars just as a lifestyle vehicle, not as a work vehicle. They just want to have something that they sit up high in, it looks rugged and tough as they cruise around the King's Road in Chelsea. Now because of this, they've had to change it ever so slightly. You see, when they normally set up pickup trucks, they set up the rear leaf spring suspension for it having loads of stuff in it. But as people won't be doing that, maybe they'll chuck a surfboard in and pretend they're going to the beach occasionally, it's going to be empty most of the time. They need to slacken off the suspension so it's not overly firm and bouncing about all over the place like that. So that's what they've done. You've still got leaf springs because, yes, someone may need to take this thing into the wilderness and they don't want some trick suspension breaking. So you've still got leaf springs, but they're just a bit softer. That's good. It's perfect if you're not carrying a full load. Is the ride brilliant? You know, it's still quite jiggly, but I don't think it's any worse than my own little Suzuki Jimny, and I love driving that round town. In fact, I don't know if you can hear that little rattling sound. It's my little flask there just vibrating as the car jiggles a bit over the bumps, but it's not terrible. I can live with it, just. I'm on a faster road now, so how does this new Hilux cope when you're going a bit quicker? It's fine. I can't really judge how noisy it is because I'm getting all the noise from the rain, so it doesn't seem too loud. There is one thing I do notice though, and that's the engine just whirring away a little bit. I wonder if I put my foot down, it's going to really make a racket. Let's have a go. Here we go. Put it down. Respond. Come on, respond. 50. Are we going to get up to 70 before I reach the roundabout and have to brake really hard? Come on, pull hard. There we go. Woo. It does make a little bit of a racket, but it's not too bad. And it's got enough performance as well. It's fine. Let's actually see it as we come out of a roundabout when I put my foot down. Let's go to power mode. It's going to hold onto its gears a bit longer now. Floor it. Oh, you notice it in power mode. It just seems to pick up a bit quicker. Yes, it's taking it all the way to the red line of 4,500 RPM. You could definitely live with one of these. I like sitting up high as well, especially when it's absolutely chucking it down like this, because you just get a better view. You don't seem so badly affected from the spray from other cars. If you want one of these just because you like the look of them and you're a bit worried, like, oh, is it going to be a nightmare to do like long distances in it, you'll be able to cope, trust me. Oh, one last thing to check though, economy, 24 miles per gallon I'm getting. I'm not sure if you'll be able to cope with that. What was that beep? Was that the lane departure warning? I was in the centre of my lane. Oh, actually it's something else. It's DPF regeneration in progress. That's the diesel particulate filter just cleaning itself so that it doesn't get damaged and cost you a load to replace. The road's got a little bit twisty. Let's see how this thing copes with a few corners. After all, you may be in a pickup, but you still don't want it to accidentally spill its load everywhere when you go into a bend. It does lean a bit, but what do you expect? It's a tall vehicle. It's designed for going off-road as well. The steering's, as you'd imagine, a little bit wishy-washy, a bit like the weather. Look, I can do that, and not all that much is happening. I'm just gently rocking from side to side. Having said that though, I still think the steering's a little bit better in this than it is in my Suzuki Jimny. It's fine on a twisty road. What's not fine though is this awful weather. We're about to go off-roading, which will look really cool in the mud. As is customary in a car wow video, we're going to do a launch. Put this truck into sports mode for the gearbox, go into first gear, put it into four-wheel drive mode, that's that engaged. Traction control is now off. I'm going to accelerate as quick as I can, see how well it hooks up on this slippery surface, and see if I can get to 40 miles an hour before I run out of space. Now I'm actually doing this right in front of the guys from Toyota. They may hate me for doing this. Oh well, here we go. Hold on the brake, release brake. Oh, come on. Freaking hell. Whoa! This is nuts. Oh! Jesus Christ, I almost got air right in front of the people from Toyota. I wonder if they're going to send me home. I think I better go face the music. Sorry about that. It's a bit quicker than I thought it would be.
That's good.
Am I in trouble?
Not at all. You go and enjoy yourself. That's what it's designed for. Look quite impressive, that, I must say.
This is a chassis articulation stage. I'm going to put it in neutral. Going to low range mode now. We've got a ground clearance of 310 millimeters. I want to see if I can get through here without having to use the rear differential. Hopefully the stability control can just stop the truck from sending its power to the wheel in the air, and I won't get cross-axled when I have like diagonal wheels off the ground, because then you can get stuck. But the stability should stop the wheels spinning to keep me moving forward. Well, that's annoying. The parking beeping away. Where is the parking control? There it is, down here. Off you go. This is fairly easy, this is. Oh yeah. Wow, that's pretty good. Way! That was fun. What next? Now I'm going to try a hill. So approach angle on this is 29 degrees, which is the same as a Ford Ranger. I just let this engine just pull itself up steadily. The traction control might help me out if it gets a bit slippery. Tell you what, it is getting narrow. I'm going to have to put these door mirrors in. Oh, come on, traction. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, it's smooth, this engine. And strong. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Way up. Thank goodness for traction control. Did the job. Let's go back down the way I came. Whoa. Whoa. Well, I know what I need to do. Hill descent control. Turn off those annoying parking sensors again. It should control it down on the brakes on its own. I don't have to do anything. I'm not touching the brakes. Look, feet are not doing anything. See? Feet up, no brakes, no brakes. It's doing it all for me. Simples. All right, that's that done. Next obstacle. This section looks a little bit slippy. I think I'll engage my locking rear diff. Let's go for it. Whoa. Oh, this thing is tough. It's so tough. Invincible by name, invincible by nature. Now all I need to do is clean off all that mud. So I'm going to go through this lake. The wading depth on this thing is 700 millimeters. Hopefully this lake doesn't go any deeper than that. If it does, I'll be wishing I was in a Ford Ranger, because that's got a wading depth of 800 millimeters. Mind you, a Nissan Navara and a Mitsubishi L200 have a wading depth of just 600 millimeters. And Volkswagen Amarok, its wading depth is only 500 millimeters. You know, I still think this truck's a little bit dirty. I'm going to have to give it a better wash. Maybe if I pick the speed up. Enough of that. That was good fun. So then, what's my final verdict on the new Toyota Hilux? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should shortlist the Hilux. It's just as strong, tough and dependable as ever. It's just now easier to live with. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like. Now, if you click up there, you can watch me drag race and pickups. If you click down there, you can watch me off-road some pickups. And if you click on that box there, you can go to Car Wow to see how much you can save on a new car.